welcome to Movie Recall. In today's video, we will be going through the 2022 movie Lou. It's time to recall. Let's get started, turn on subtitles, and spoilers ahead. The movie begins and we see an old woman named Lou leading a solitary existence in a cabin on Orca's Island. She has a weathered look, and her only companion is her pet dog. As it begins to rain, Lou walks out of her cabin to dig up an old wooden box. She takes this inside and from it takes out some confidential-looking papers and burns them. As the storm rages outside, we also see her preparing and cutting meat, counting and putting away stacks of cash in envelopes, and then hiding it in the freezer. She drinks and feeds her dog during this, and last, we see her put up a plastic sheet and sit in front of it with her gun between her knees, ready to shoot herself. There's a clap of thunder as the title shows. The scene then changes to earlier that day when the sun is shining and Lou has just shot down a deer. The shot didn't kill the creature, and Lou finishes the job with her hunting knife before dragging the carcass across the field. Afterwards, she goes into town to withdraw all the money kept in her bank, and we get to know that everyone is preparing for an upcoming big storm that is about to hit the island. Then we meet our next protagonist, Hannah, who lives with her young daughter V as a tenant for Lou. V is an active child who wants to play around and have fun, but we can clearly see that Hannah is somewhat stressed about something. When V asks Hannah about her dad, Hannah distracts her with another round of hide-and-seek while she is covering her crop with plastic sheets in anticipation of the bad weather. As V hides, Lou drops by, telling Hannah that her rent is due by tomorrow. When Hannah tries to ask for an extension, Lou firmly denies it. It then seems as if Lou has something more to say, but does not, and drives away without another word. As she spreads past the fields, V comes onto the road, and Lou narrowly avoids hitting her. Hannah shouts at her for driving so fast, but Lou says that Hannah should teach V to watch out for herself. As Lou leaves, Hannah is visited by Chris, and we sense some obvious chemistry between them, but Hannah seems hesitant to move forward. Lou watches Chris drive away from her own cabin, and as the rain begins to fall, we jump back to the sequence of events that we saw at the start of the film. Chris gives a ride to a stranger on the road as the rain is beginning to get worse. The stranger seems very talkative and starts asking him questions about a book dealing with death. Chris responds that it is for a friend, and the man deduces that he wants his friend to get over the death of her husband so that they can begin a relationship. Suddenly, the man attacks Chris, and it is implied that he kills him in the car. We then shift back to Hannah, who is taking out cash from V's college fund to pay the rent. She tries to tell V about her father, but can't find the courage to do so. In her cabin, we see further details of Lou going through the things she took from the buried box. There are some old pictures and movie reels. She then begins to pen down a letter. We don't know to whom Lou is addressing the letter, but she writes that as she has never been the one for too many words, she will keep it short. She tells the receiver of the letter to sell the house as it belongs to them. There is a month's worth of meat for Jax, her dog, in the freezer, and some cash. We see her shifting her writing hand as her left hand hurts her too much to be able to write. She continues to say that she made some decisions that might be hard to understand, but it's all in the past. What made her great at some things made her lousy at others. She says that she wishes that some good came out of what she did, but in truth, she has left the world a more dangerous place. Meanwhile, Hannah prepares V to get ready to sleep, and as she is tucking her in, the electricity goes out. Hannah braves the rain to go flip the breaker, telling V that she'll be right back. Hannah goes out but finds Chris's car. As she investigates, she comes across his dead body and freaks out. She runs back, yelling V's name, but she does not find her daughter in the house. The book that Chris had bought for Hannah is on V's bed, along with a picture of V and her father Philip. Realizing what has happened, Hannah rushes over to Lou's house to use her phone. Lou, who had been preparing to kill herself, asks her if she let V wander off again, but Hannah tells her what's going on. Lou proposes that they use her car, but when they get in, the car does not start. When Lou goes to check, she finds a bomb under the hood, and the two of them hide from the blast. Lou is now on hunt mode and tells Hannah that she will have to track the kid herself, as they are 10 miles from town and Philip will be taking V away every second. She starts up a generator and tells Hannah to get the batteries. Hannah tells Lou that she and her dog are no match for Philip, who was a Green Beret, meaning that he was in the U.S. Army Special Services. He had been responsible for various war crimes and was supposed to be dead. When they had gone to arrest him, they had blown up his apartment and was presumed dead. Lou goes to Hannah's house and begins to track down Philip. She figures that he used sleeping gas to knock the kid out and that he is probably going to get V off the island using a private vessel as airports and ferries are both closed. She tells Hannah to stay behind, but Hannah refuses to do so. They both make their way to a cabin where they can spot two men. Hannah recognizes them as Philip's friends who served with him and are just as vicious. Lou equips Hannah with her shotgun and a knife, but when she asks Lou where she learned all this from, she replies that she learned it from Girl Scouts. Lou decides to go see what's going on at the cabin and does so by pretending to be a helpless old woman looking for her dog. The two men take her in, but soon begin to suspect her, and a fight breaks out in which Lou single-handedly kills them both. But not before finding out where Philip could be. When Hannah finds her, she is disturbed by the violence that took place. They gather supplies, and Hannah finally asks Lou what branch of the military Lou was in, and she confesses that she was a CIA agent with 26 years of experience in the field. As they continue tracking down V, the scene shifts to Philip, who is carrying V in a small cart, making sure she is as comfortable as he can make her. They stop for a peeing break when Philip hears Hannah's voice on his walkie-talkie. Hannah is using it despite Lou warning her not to, and it does exactly what Lou had feared. It tips Philip off about them. He gets V, who is disturbed by her father's weird behavior, and they continue on their way. Lou and Hannah take a break themselves as Hannah bandages up a blister on her foot. Lou notices burn marks on Hannah's arm and judges her for not leaving Philip sooner. Hannah tells her not to tell her what she should have done if she's not been in a situation similar to hers. She then tells Lou how Philip had been loving and caring once and how she'd tried to help fix him, not recognizing who she'd become when she was with him. Eventually, Philip had begun to threaten her and V, and she finally found the courage to leave. Lou comforts Hannah in her own curt manner, saying that they will find V. As they continue tracking Philip, they find the cart Philip was using, but it is empty. They then find a wooden bridge which was probably tempered by Philip himself. Lou sends Jax home as she and Hannah cross the broken bridge. They're almost onto the other side when the fingers of Lou's left hand lock around the rope, and in trying to fix it, she and Hannah fall down. Hannah tries to help Lou once they are able to get their bearings, but Lou brushes her off. Lou also discovers Hannah trying to use the radio again as the storm has passed and takes it away from her, saying that there is no one who can help them. Eventually, with a lot of difficulties, they make their way up and reach Eagle Bay, but find no sign of Philip or a boat. Hannah thinks that they're too late, but observing the stormy sea, Lou tells her that it's impossible that Philip would have been able to take V off of the island by boat. They must be on the island, she simply has to find them. Lou and Hannah approach an abandoned boat on the shore and Lou heads inside. She finds another postcard like the one she found in the cabin, but hides it from Hannah. Hannah sees V's stuffed toy and breaks down as Lou tries to keep her quiet. She notices smoke in the distance and tells Hannah that maybe they do need help. She gives Hannah a torch, the radio, and a gun and asks her to contact the sheriff from the top of the hill and meet her back here. Hannah leaves and Lou continues on ahead where she had seen the smoke. We then shift to Philip and V, who are taking shelter in a cave. Philip tries to entertain his daughter by painting handprints on the wall with her, and V reluctantly participates. Afterwards, he puts her to sleep. Meanwhile, Hannah has made her way up to the top of the hill as the night falls and manages to get a hold of Sheriff Rankin. She tells him about V being kidnapped by her father, and he understands enough of her words through the bad connection to put it on the wire. Back to Lou, she has tracked down Philip and V to a cave and looks at the sleeping girl through her gun's sight. She also spots another sleeping bag in which Philip is probably asleep but decides not to shoot. Her plan is to slip inside and get the girl, but when she does so, Philip sneaks up behind her and tells her to drop her gun. The two of them seem to know each other. Philip tells her to be honest and then asks her why she sold him out. Lou scoffs and says she knew she wouldn't be able to protect Hannah and V forever. When Philip blames that everything is happening because of her, Lou admits that Hannah doesn't know who Lou is. Philip smiles bitterly, saying that Lou can't even admit that he is her son. He reveals that he was V's age when he was taken by some men. He also thought that his mommy was going to save him. Lou says that she couldn't have saved him as it was a trap and they would have killed them both. She says that she could have saved him eventually, taken out of Iran. But when he asks her why she didn't come with him, she has no answer. Philip says that she chose the CIA over her own son. Lou tries to reason with her son, agreeing with his accusation that she wasn't there for him, but she tells him to leave V with her and go, and that she will throw everyone off his tracks. She almost gets through to him too, but Philip throws up his guard. He wants to kill her and is about to shoot when Lou stabs him with a knife. The two of them struggle and fight each other, with Philip eventually gaining the upper hand and embedding one end of an axe into Lou's shoulder. He picks up the drugged V and leaves, saying that he'll be waiting for her and Hannah at the lighthouse. Lou lies there in pain, getting a flashback to the time when Philip was a child and taken away from her. Meanwhile, Sheriff Rankin gets a call from the FBI confirming the presence of Lou Adele on the island and informing him that she is a high-priority target. They tell him to keep everyone away from Eagle Bay, even his own forces, as they are taking over the investigation. The scene then shifts to Hannah, who finds Lou in the abandoned boat and helps her when she sees the injury. She finds the postcards Philip left behind and figures out that they're not for her, but for Lou. She makes Lou tell her the truth and then accuses her of being a coward for not reaching out to her own granddaughter. She leaves Lou behind, heading to the lighthouse by herself, even though Lou tries to stop her. Eventually, the sheriff finds Lou, but when they go to get her first aid kit, she takes their bike and rushes to the lighthouse. Hannah has already reached and makes her way to the top to find Philip holding V. He lets V go to hug her mother, who tells V to make an excuse to get away. Philip tells V to go downstairs as Hannah points a gun at him. She manages to shoot him twice before he gets a hold of her, but Hannah stabs him with the knife Lou had given her and traps him. She goes down to find V surrounded by a web of bombs when Lou arrives. She displays her terrifying skills yet again to disarm the explosives, and Hannah makes V get away from a small door that opens just enough to let the little girl through. The two women put aside their differences to escape. When Philip tries to detonate the bomb, it does not go off, and he comes down to discover that it has been turned off by Lou. Outside, Lou manages to find V and, together with Hannah's help, is able to blow up the lighthouse. She tells Hannah to go to her house and read the letter there. Hannah forgives Lou for everything, telling her that she needs to come back to them because they need her. After she and V leave, Philip arrives and begins attacking his mother. Lou finally manages to stab him just as the CIA's helicopter discovers them on a beach and shoots them. It stays long enough to ensure that they're dead before flying away. As the movie comes to a close, we see that Hannah has sold the house and is moving away with V and Jax, but Lou is still alive and observing them through a binocular. This is where the movie ends. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.